Hey, what's up, folks? Uh, Getting ready to watch the A's game here. Taking a little walk here before I go here. I'm at Point Pinole. It's actually a really nice little park. I kind of just recently discovered it, but it's pretty cool if you ever get out here. It's a nice walk right by the bay. Anyways, yeah, it's the weekend. There's 10 games, exactly. 10 games left in the season for the A's. This weekend they have the San Francisco Giants for the conclusion of the Battle of the Bay. But it's been a tough last few weeks or couple weeks. They had what they went 16 games in 14 days, I believe, is the number. That's pretty grueling. Not to mention the conditions that they went from, the super bad smoky air in Seattle to directly to the thin high altitude air in Colorado when they, so that was quite a bit of a shock to the system from what I hear. But you know, in the last couple of weeks though, they made some acquisitions, and hopefully everything's in a positive uh, direction here. They lost Matt Chapman. He has a hip injury. Had surgery on I believe on Tuesday. They said it looked pretty good, and they expect him back, in spring training if all goes well. But in the meantime, the A's picked up Jake Lamb from the Arizona Diamondbacks. They let him go for some reason. The guy's not too bad. He wasn't doing great this year. He didn't get a lot of playing time. Right now he has a 185 average. But since he's been with Oakland, it's only been a week, but he's hitting 455 with Oakland. So that's not too shabby. Tommy La Stella was another great pickup from the Angels. That he's hitting almost 300 right now, and he's been like the most consistent hitter thus far. At least since the trade deadline. But guys are starting to kind of come back. Stephen Piscotty's been out with a wrist injury, but he's available off the bench tonight, so that's pretty good. Daniel Mengden is starting to do simulated innings. He's throwing. He's doing throwing programs down in the what do you call it? The other site, where down in San Jose, and then the A's completed their Mike Minor trade today. They traded. You guys, go ahead. They picked up Mike Minor, and with players to be named later. They let go of Dustin Harris and Marcus Smith, but these weren't huge losses. The A's have a pretty decent minor league system. They're always in play when it comes to finding, drafting guys for one, and then always, making those future plans with trades. They might let a guy go and grab 3 or 4 prospects, and then try and develop them. But aside from that, I don't know if I mentioned AJ Puck. He had his surgery on his shoulder, and apparently there's no big problem. They just cleaned it up, some debridement, and he should be ready to go. They said that he could be pitching in 10 weeks. Unfortunately, that's not soon enough, but he should be ready to go for spring training. So things are looking up. I'm still waiting to hear a little bit more on Chad Pinder. He's got an injury. He's pretty much day to day. Hopefully he will be back by the time playoffs come around. But with the acquisition of Jake Lamb, I don't really know how much room that leaves on the roster for him. The other one that they sent down Seth Brown, since Piscotty is back essentially. Anyways, Giants game's about to start. Should be a fun weekend. Hopefully the smoke is supposed to come back. The winds are changing direction, and we might end up with smoke again this weekend. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully, we get a little bit of a reprieve, because after this weekend, then the A's go down to Southern California, and then they'll come back again, play a set with Seattle to end of the season. So we've got some work ahead of us. The magic number for the division is 4. The magic number for the playoffs at all is 2. So any combination of wins and losses could change the way it goes. I don't understand how the A's are at this point still not clinching a spot, even though there's 10 games to go. They'd have to blow all 10 games for them to lose a spot in the playoffs. They have the largest lead in Major League Baseball with a 6-game lead over Houston, 8, and I believe it's 9 over Seattle. I was really kind of hoping that Houston would get some just desserts by blowing it against Seattle, and because they're only 3 games apart, and they can still do it. But I was really hoping Seattle would eke in and close that distance, and maybe at the last minute boot Houston out of the at least out of the guaranteed 2nd spot. But I think the Central Division is so tough that if they did lose that other spot, that they'd also lose the wild card spots too. But that is neither here nor there. That's all just make believe and play. It's fun to think about. But anyways, I'm gonna go get my run on, and then I'm gonna go catch the game. And hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and hang in there, and hopefully the smoke doesn't get us again. All right, take care.